come here. I just want to thank you for that. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I want to go ahead and do that first. I don't want to wait to the end. But I want to thank you for allowing us to come here and to just put together, strategize, and just fit what's best in the Salvation Army for your community. And that's what it's about. You guys are vitally important to the ministry of the Salvation Army. And we just thank you for being here, taking time out of your busy schedules to come and to take part in this. So I'm not going to talk anymore. I'm going to turn it over to the guys who's going to be leading this, Glenn and Reggie. So let's welcome them as they come on.
Are there any questions before we take a break? I mean, no, let's don't take this too seriously now. I mean, we just want to get through this. We're going to have the chance for each team to introduce your team when we come out of a group exercise or a team exercise that we'll have in a few moments. But I wanted to just convene us around a thought to get us launched. I'm Reggie McNeil. I don't have a name tag because I just don't. And I'm a city coach with Good Cities. I'm very fortunate to get to work with Good Cities. Glenn, I'm really just the other guy at Good Cities. Glenn is the president. He's the commodore or whatever. But he lets me come along. And Steve is our brand new board member, and he's here for accountability. So Glenn and I are known to cuss crowds out and stuff like that. Active appropriately, so he's here to keep an eye on and see how we persecute people up close and personal. We've just come through, of course, a time of year the whole world celebrates, and the Eastern Orthodox has caught up with us this weekend, celebrating, of course, the arrival of Jesus on the planet. And a lot of people, I think that Jesus came to establish religion, and I don't think so. I think he came to abolish religion.
In progress.
And if we want to fight back on everything I say, should I start over? I mean, I don't know.
Just record.
Something is in
But here,
progress.
let me see. Can he talk? I mean, can you hear and can you speak?
Are you talking to me?
I'm talking to my Steve
That's what I thought.
over there, even though he's not is a speaker. Hello, yes?
Does anyone else see Steve? I'm just a little nervous about this all of a sudden. I may need to start over for different reasons now. How's Steve doing? You're our favorite guy, Steve.
He is healing nicely. Oh, it's connecting. Wait a minute. Steve? Well, now press. Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good. I'm going to put your volume down. He just wants to be able to engage.
Well, certainly.
He just had surgery and...
Yeah, hip replacement, I understand. So, I hope you do well, Steve, with that.
Thank you.
But as I was trying to say before you interrupted, I think Jesus came to do something much more profound than to establish more religious activity for folk. The more I look at what he said and the way he lived, I think his total focus, I think, obsession almost, but in a positive way, was to really show us the kingdom. After all, that's where he came from. That was his frame of reference. And in the Gospels that record his teachings and all, he talks about the kingdom of God over 90 times. Kingdom, kingdom of God, kingdom of heaven. And I'm going to make a connection so you wonder why in the world we start with this, because honestly, the conversations you're going to have today, tomorrow, and through this process over these next months are really, you're a co-conspirator with God in his kingdom activity. Now, a lot of people, and particularly in North America, Western, kingdom is not a word that automatically we fill in with content that, a lot of kingdoms we know we've fought against or we're, wary of. But so I think knowing what the kingdom of God is about is kind of really important. even though I grew up in the church, we didn't talk about it much. We assumed, I think, that kingdom was maybe church on steroids or just super church events or churches partnering with one another or something. But the more I've thought about it, and I really think the kingdom is all about life. The whole point of the kingdom is life. And with an important caveat, life as God intended, as God intends for people to enjoy. In fact, in the Bible, we open up with a story of a garden, and in the middle of that garden is the tree of life. And when Eden is disintegrating, God sends an angel to stand guard over that tree because that gift of life is an irrevocable gift. I remember we have 5 grandkids, and I remember when Olivia, number 4 out of the 5, was born, I was able finally to get her as the first days of COVID, so it was a couple of days before I got to hold her. And I don't know why, but it had never hit me until I'd never put the two thoughts together. But when they handed Olivia to me, I thought, I'm holding a creature who will never cease to exist. I mean, that's an overwhelming thought, that every human being on the planet is a creature by design, fresh from the heart of God, fresh from the dream of God, for a life that He intends for them. And so we have the beginning of the book is all about the gift of life. In the book of the Revelation, at the end of the Bible, when we move to the city from a garden, in the city of God, the river of life flows through the middle of the city, trees of life on both sides, on both banks, for the eternal nature of it. And then in the middle of the book, Jesus comes, and He makes this remarkable claim. He says, I'm the way, the truth, and then He says, the life. And I've come to give you life. It's interesting that so it seems like the whole point of from Genesis to Revelation, and then in the person of Jesus, what God is, of course, His mission is human beings created in His image, unique as far as we know until the Webb telescope reaches some alien civilization somewhere. As far as we know, up till today, we're unique in the whole universe, bearing His image, and that's a forever gift. And so if the kingdom is all about life, that means every aspect of life, not just spiritual life, but people's psychological health, their emotional health, relational health, financial access to health, every aspect of human existence. And that's why I say that the work that you're going to be doing today, tomorrow, in our other meetings, as you help people get closer to experiencing the life God intends for them, because Jesus taught it. I have to say, I did grow up in a tradition that seemed to be more focused on getting people ready for heaven, whereas Jesus seemed to be really focused on bringing heaven to earth. And He says, this is how you live. This is what the kingdom looks like. When He heals, it's because we're supposed to be healers. When He addresses truth to people who are wayward, because we're supposed to be truth tellers. When He is gracious with folks and inclusive of folks of all traditions, I mean, we're supposed to be reflecting that heart of God. It's open on. So, all of that and all that you'll be doing, talking about how people can live better lives in West Palm and in Fort Lauderdale, Miami. All of that syncs up with God's big mission on the planet, which is to help human beings enjoy the life He intends. That's it's quite a cool assignment, isn't it, really? To know that we've been cut in really on the deal to work for that. And actually sometimes even know that it's happening. we're here and our conversations, or our process is not to sell you a process or anything, but is to engage you in conversation, because we believe that conversations change the world. And we believe that having the right people in the room, and we believe we have the right people in the room. You've been recruited intentionally, and there will be others that will be joining us along the way. Having the right people in the room, having the right kinds of conversations really can move the needle on big societal issues that we face in our country right now. And so our dreams are big for you. Our hopes are big for you. This isn't a seminar or a workshop or something. We literally believe people's lives will be better because we've been together these next 2 days. Now, to get us started, so we get to know you a little bit and your context, we want your team to be engaged in what we call an Instagram or whatever. And how we do that is at your table. I'm sure there's a marker, and I've not tested the markers yet. So, in fact, if my wife were here, she said, "You'll never figure out how to get into that box." You know, I'm kind of pathetic that way. I can't open Christmas gifts even. I think, if you can't get high off a marker, it's just not a very good marker. So actually, this presentation could run on a little while. Get more engaging, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, so what we want to do is we want you as a team to tell us 4 things about yourself besides just introducing yourself. We tried to get smaller boards. Anyway, so we weren't able to. So if you can see this from back there, we want to know what's working in your community in terms of, in this initial context, in terms of people enjoying an abundant life, a rich life, a good experience. What's working? Then we want to know what's stuck. And I don't mean like throwing something up against the wall, see if it sticks. What ain't working would be another way. Where are some sticking points in people being able to have access to the life that God intends, to an abundant life? Then we tell us your biggest challenge, and then your greatest opportunity. Because somewhere in the conversation of all of this will emerge the area and the particular focus that you'll take, the initiative that will come out of this cohort for your community. Now, instead of using a bunch of work, and by the way, there'll be a large template for you to record. You have individual templates, but you'll also have a large template to finally, to record this so that we can hear from you, and also that it serves as a record for you, so you have the work that you've done. Rather than a bunch of words, we'd like for you to draw. You're limited to 2 words per quadrant, 2 print words. Some people get real creative with that, but 2 words, and use pictures help us here to tell the story. We want to access that right-hand side of your brain and use all of your brain for our times together. Now you're going to have about 45 minutes to get ready for this. We'll come around and monitor that because this is going to generate some conversation around it. You may not all agree on some of this stuff, so fight it out with your team, and then we'll get a chance. We'll visit you later. We'll monitor and let you know when we're down to about 10 minutes, 5 minutes, that kind of thing. But you can count on having 45 to get ready for this so that we can meet your team and hear from you. You got it? The teams, I think, on the boards, you know where Miami's there. This is Fort Lauderdale, West Palm, and then local Fort Lauderdale right over there. So go for it. We'll be at your table in about 45 minutes to hear from you.